Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to HSF Racing. I'm your host, Haji. It's been a minute, so let's get this going. So I just thought I'd come out here and tell you where it all started, how I started racing slot cars with the wife. So 30 plus years ago, we were racing at Hagenwood Raceway in Sacramento and Raceland in Folsom. And we started out with this basic Parma Flexi chassis. It was a kit, it came with a controller, very basic controller. And we decided to go with the NASCAR bodies. And this was also the car that the wife and I ran in the Enduro at Raceland, and I believe it was 12 hours. So it was a good body. We were taught how to tape them up inside, reinforce them, make them a little bit more rigid. Make sure your pins don't rip through when you're trying to change the body on and off. Had to learn how to solder. Very basic motors, nothing fancy, ran on foam tires. This particular chassis and motor, it did not screw into the chassis, so we ended up having to, hopefully you can see this, we would actually solder the motor onto the chassis with a piece of piano wire. I don't think you can see that very well, but it's there. And then, racing these for a while, you learn how to drive your car. And then eventually we moved up to some wire chassis, still with a very basic motor. I don't know if this is a Pro slot or I have forgotten so much about these, and I don't see myself getting back into racing these type of cars again. But again, very basic motor, nowhere to screw the motor in, so you had to solder it in there and get yourself a piece of piano wire. Make sure it's in there nice and snug if you took a hit or wiped out. And it was real fun. And we just kept progressing along. And then we got into racing these cars called Womp Womps. And they still have them around today. But these were really fun because you built these chassis and we learned how to tune them. And how you can hear the body play and these little panels on the side. These were really fun to race. We raced these every week at Hagenwood Raceway and got really good at racing these cars. And then it gets even further. As we thought we were getting better and wanted to get into more competition, we started building C-cans or strap motors, and they're a lot different. There's no bottom cover, no top cover. It is basically a strap with cobalt magnets. And these were a blast to run. These would run some really fast laps. We never got into the open cars because it was just too much money, and buying everything in twos wasn't possible. And that competition was really stiff. Back in the day and in the early 90s, you'd go to the Bay Area and these guys were just thrashing that track, doing some really fast laps. Nothing that I could even come close to. But it was a blast watching. I had a great time doing this. At one time, I think it was in Fresno, I took a second place and my name got put in Slot Car Magazine. That was pretty cool. Somewhere around the house I still have that magazine. So there's different configurations of the wire chassis. Like this one's really narrow compared to this one, really wide. And we would get out there, and depending on the track and how much glue we sprayed, we would have to take our tires and cut them down. Here's a uncut tire, and then one that's trimmed considerably. Must have been a heavy glue night or a weak motor. So we were, sorry about that. So we would spend all our money on motors and parts. I still have a bag of sealed tires that are still in great condition. I've never opened all the bottles. They've always stayed in consistent temperature in the fridge. No moisture's gotten to them. I did crack open one of them, and they were fresh as they were on the day I bought them. So if I ever got back in or used some foam tires somewhere, I'd just break those out. So that's about it. Really wish those two tracks were still around. We probably would have never got out of it. But this is where we're at now. So we're just racing all the stuff we have on our Carrera track and going from there. I definitely don't see myself going back to racing those type of cars, the wing cars and stuff like that. And talking about the wing cars, I forgot to show you the body. So here's, your basic body for a wing car. These act as your downforce, very similar to the way magnets act on Carrera cars and other manufacturer cars. I used to have a guy out of Lake Tahoe paint my bodies for me. He did a really good job, and he was cheap because I can't paint to save my life. Here's an awesome paint job I did. Look at the detail. Look at that. Here's another one. A lot more detail. Look at that Sharpie work. Right? So yeah, I never did my own bodies. I always had him paint me some stuff. He did some really cool bodies. Did some really nice masking to them. And these are all the thin Lexan stuff. He did me a want body I never mounted. I was trying to get this to fit on a Legends car, but it's just too damn wide. And then this other one as well. He actually did the driver in this one. This one's really sweet. So that's a little bit about my slot car background. Definitely not as deep as some of these guys I see on YouTube, especially someone like Jim Rose and the guys you see on the Worldwide Slot Car Chat. I think I got that right. But it's cool. It's cool coming back into the hobby. It's still expensive, but I'm having a lot of fun. So that's all I got for now. Just thought I'd get a video out there to you guys, let you know I'm still here. Please like and subscribe. See you guys on the other channels. Take care. Peace.